afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another live edition of Mafia Roundtable with Dominic Cicali. First off, I'll start with everybody, please hit that subscribe button if you like the content. Even if you don't like the content, hit the subscribe button. We're closing on 17,000 subscribers. Thank you for all the love and support. And we got to this point relatively quick. So I really, I'm honored and humbled by the support we've been receiving with this channel. Today, also, I would like to thank our sponsor, EG Vodka. Go to egvodka.com. Buy your vodka. It is 100% organic, great tasting vodka. I mean, so smooth, you don't even know you're drinking vodka. So you'll love it, all three flavors, really good. So just go to egvodka.com and you'll see all the flavors you could order. It'll direct you right to the online store. Also, folks, it's tentative right now, but the 16th of this month at 6 p.m., we're setting up that we will be shooting live at Buccelli's Italian restaurant in Tampa. We're going to have a powerhouse team there. Former mobsters will be there. Everybody who's part of the Cicali Family, Inc. And we're going to be doing a fundraiser for kids. And what we're going to be doing is all donations will go into an account. And I'm not going to give these funds just to any organization. We're actually going to pound the pavement and help kids personally, up close and personal. We're going to get kids, families who need it, back to school. We're going to buy clothes, food, whatever they need, their necessities. And we're going to be personal, where our funds aren't going to get misappropriated, giving it to an organization where they take a percentage out. So 100% of all the funds collected will be going towards families and kids in need. So and you'll see our actions, the way we're going to work it. So stay tuned. We're going to have guys on this channel that it's not even on YouTube. So you'll meet former mob members, former associates that they turn their lives around too, out many years, and they're here living a productive life so people can change. So, and we're going to give a positive message to these kids out there. So stay tuned for that. We should know by next week, we'll formally announce the date. So right now we're scheduled for August 16th, 6 p.m. at Buccelli's out in Tampa. So that'll be a live event. Everybody's welcome to come, to show up there, and it'll be really interesting. With that, earlier today I posted something that was in our lineup about a former chief of police who actually got promoted. It's really disgusting. Assistant former chief of police Eduardo Delatorre. And I'll tell you the story again. I'll go into it a little bit more. And then the architect, Alan Bolton, in my eyes, he's just a piece of shit, the guy. Just dirty. But, it's a shame what happened, what went on. And also the bank itself, there was a construction bank. I don't know if it's still around. It was on the Westchester Avenue, and I think around Castle Hill, called Ponce de Leon. And they were known to be a construction bank. They were extremely close with the Genovese crime family. And it's just disgusting because a bank has a fiduciary responsibility to its clients, and yet, and the board members, stockholders, and yet they didn't look out for the bank's interest. They facilitated this chief of police with my properties, and it was just disgusting what went on after I cooperated. So it's unbelievable. So what happened was I had a 8-family building. It was 4 stories, 8-family unit in the Bronx. And then I had the 3 lots in Throg's Neck. One of them was going to be my home. The adjacent lots were right next door. There were two family units. So what happened was I had Alan put everything under his name, the construction loans, because I was capped out at that point with some other projects. And I had an agreement with Alan. He would get a percentage off of the houses once I sold them. And the best of my recollection was we were at about $900,000. I'm pretty sure, I think the loan was maybe for $1.8 million, $2 million. And we had pulled about 900 out, maybe a little bit more, but it was around those numbers. And then, of course, I got locked up, and Alan just dirty tried to tell everybody he was owed a lot of money, which he wasn't. He made his move, trying to take the property. At first, he sent word. I got word, and Alan wants to buy you out. Like, just give me a couple of $100,000 and walk away. I'm like, hell no. There's a few $1 million there. Like, as the property sat the way it was, I'm like, no. And it's difficult sometimes when you're locked up. Especially, we had Vinny, we had Michael Knows. Everybody's out for themselves. Who's robbing from me out there. Alan, one of them. Lo and behold, after I get locked up, and it's funny because I had some other people that were investors and they lost money too. So, which is a shame. One of them was Jimmy McManus. He was partners on the 8-family unit. And it's really disgusting. It really is. And at the end of the day, after I cooperated, and now all the vultures really come out, and I had my attorney look into it. And on the Throg's Neck homes, there was a little over 900 owed. On the 8-family unit, there was 600,000 owed. Now, by this time, everything's in default. They're going for foreclosure. Might have been 2 years later or a year and a half later. So, of course, they tack on the interest. It was like maybe the bank was asking total for both properties $2.5, $3 million. Somewhere like just a ridiculous number for fees, late fees, compounded. And I'm like, hell no. So I told the lawyer, I says, do this. If there's $1.6 million owed on the property, between the two properties, tell them we'll buy it out, whatever's owed originally. So he contacts the bank, now he's with the bank president or vice president of the bank. And they turned around, they said, oh, no, we can't do that. It's either he pays off the full amount or that's it. So lo and behold, it's difficult for me to be on top of things. I found out after they said no, months later, the lawyer tells me, Dom, somebody bought out the loans. Who bought out the loans and how much? Come to find out, it was Chang Wang Realty. I'm like, who the fuck is Chang Wang Realty? Now, again, I only have limited access to certain things, to really dig deep into it. And especially now I cooperated, I have nobody I could pick up the phone, call, see what's going on. So come to find out, and these numbers aren't accurate, but they're around about. For the property in Throg's Neck, there was maybe a 900, $1 million, $1 million, $2 million owed around there. And on the other property, there was 650, I think it was owed. They bought the loans out for pennies on the dollar. I think maybe both of them, and don't hold me to this, but this is how ridiculous it was. I think they paid off maybe $400,000, $500,000 for everything. And I'm like, wow, we offered them basically dollar for dollar on what they lent, what they provided us with. And they said no, but they gave it to this Chang Wang Realty. And I'm asking the lawyers, who's Chang Wang Realty? And we couldn't find out. He couldn't find out, or maybe he just didn't do his job properly. But he came back down, I don't know. Years later, come to find out, it's Eduardo Delatorre, and it's his wife's real estate company. So I'm like, son of a bitch. And this guy lived in Frog's Neck. And the funny part of it all, he had 2 homes on the water in Frog's Neck, Schurz Avenue. I'm like, fuck, where's this guy getting all this money? So all of a sudden now he's under investigation. I come home from jail. Internal Affairs calls me up, questions me about it, and I tell them, what transpired to the best of my knowledge. And, they're supposedly doing an investigation on him and this and that. Lo and behold, nothing transpires. And I just read that, they found they didn't have evidence to prosecute him. So the case was, I guess, dismissed, or the investigation was finalized. And then the guy gets a promotion to a different position. It's like so dirty. It's disgusting. It really is disgusting. And I mean, the bank too, how corrupt. And I could say that because if I'm offering them dollar for dollar, yet they say no to me and then sold it to this guy for pennies on the dollar. And everything was hush hush. They wouldn't tell me. Then I read something in the paper just the other day that I could have bought it out from them for $600,000. And I'm like, that's not true, because I would have definitely did that. But it just shows how corrupt the banks are. And then this former chief of police. And I even remember him one time. Vinny lived up the block. I lived in the same row houses on the water. At Frog's Neck, Long Island Sound from him. We had a massive 4th of July party. I'm shooting mortar. We had a little private beach in between the Whitestone and Frog's Neck Bridge that you thought you were in a different country out there in the back. That night was beautiful with the 2 bridges lit up. And we're lighting off big mortars. And he came out and he tried, at the time, we have maybe 75 to 100 people there. A lot of Vinny's sons, his friends. So it was loaded. Everybody's drinking, having a good time. Music's playing. All the big mortars are getting launched. And he came out. He tried saying, hey, guys, you have to stop, And we knew who he was. We just wound up telling him, just go back in your house. Like, basically, get the fuck out of here, jerk off. That was our attitude back then. And this guy is just really disgusting. And people like that, it's amazing. It's amazing, again, how Internal Affairs just sweeps things under the carpets because who you know. But if it was us, the Italians, they come at us full force with everything. And really, it's disgusting. It's totally disgusting. So, and guys, if you hear a lot of background noise, we have the AC units are being repaired here, so people are walking around on the upper floors. So apologize for that, and I didn't want to postpone the show. So with that, it's just really unbelievable. So it's disgusting. It's disgusting when you look at things that way, especially with this chief of police and everything that went on, transpired. And then even with Alan Bolton, I mean, he's another one. Like, right away came out of the woodwork trying to screw me over. That I was even sending some people to Alan. I want to buy it. He just made up more lies, lie after lie, and I couldn't combat it and show him. I'm like, you piece of shit. And when I was in there at that time, I said, wait till I come home. I'm going to get this motherfucker. That was my mentality back then. But you know what? I just chalked it up. It's a lesson in life you learn that, you really can't trust anybody. And, what comes around life goes around. I'm a strong believer in karma. So I just wound up letting it go. But really, even if I saw him today, I'd probably say hello to him and say, Alan, you know what? You're just a piece of garbage. You're just a piece of shit. But it is what it is. So things, one thing I believe, don't stress the things you can't change and change the things you can in life. So even with these kids out there, like, I just want to see people get off the streets, stop. There's nothing out there in the streets. Streets aren't your friends. So It's just, it's a shame. It's a shame. So I hope these kids start listening, especially after the 16th, potentially the 16th. We just hope everybody listens. We're going to come together and show the world. And I'm going to show people. I'm a guy, when I say something, I'll do it. Things might take a little time, but it happens that way. And also, we're setting up the health segment, which the doctor and a patient will be on live. We're going to do a Thursday show. I'm pretty sure it's Thursday. Tuesday or Thursday. I'll announce that date. I have to look. Do you know when I said, Wilfredo, the date on the health segment when I asked you guys? Oh yeah, he'll check to see what date it is. But we're gonna have that the 10th. So that's next week.
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday. So we'll be on next Thursday with the health segment, talking about men's health, what male, what happens with the body as you get older, and for those people who want to try to get their youthfulness back in every way, shape, or form. We'll have a telemed platform where you could go online, have the consult with the doctor, and feel young again at the end of the day. And that's what it is. Everybody wants to feel young. They want to feel good about themselves. And we're putting that into forward motion. So also, please go to our Patreon channel. It is The Life of Dom Sakali by Jeff Nadeau. Sign up. There, I sent Jeff some pictures that we've never seen before. We have a lot of content coming out, and I hope everybody likes that. And Jeff, I think, is doing a good job setting everything up, laying out the format. So I like to give Jeff high praise. And Jeff also has The Sit Down by Jeff Nadeau on YouTube. Go visit him, see him. And then hopefully also No Excuses with Mikey Scars. Go watch his video. Go on his Patreon channel. Very interesting. Very well said. And he tells it the way it is, and I respect that. That's why I think we got along so well. We're just getting to know each other, so it's going back and forth. And we're starting to build a solid friendship, which is nice. It's refreshing. So with that, we'll see if anybody has any questions that we could answer. We're short-staffed here today, but Wilfredo?
Yeah, I have a couple questions are on here.
Sure.
This one's a super chat from Dean Justice.
Thanks, Dean. Appreciate it.
Hey, Dom, did you ever do collections? And if any, and if you have any funny stories when they couldn't pay?
Yes, I would collect some money for Vinny certain times. If people owed me money, I would go get it. But mostly they were for drug transactions. I was never in the Shylock business. I never loan shark. I had too big of a heart. I actually, if I lend somebody money, I wasn't one to collect that, or if they didn't pay, I would let it go. So I'm looking at it like, I just felt embarrassed with that. I don't like lending money. And if I do, I anticipate I'm not getting paid back. So if I go under the pretenses, if I'm going to give somebody money, don't expect to get it back. And I just have a big heart in that sense. So
Red Star Moscow asking, any connections with Serbian gangs in New York at the time you were in the life? Bosko Radonjic is a one-time leader of Irish Westies.
No, I had no interaction with Serbian gangs. It was just the Albanians.
See here, everybody, hey Dom, you're the best. Thank you for caring.
Thank you. Greatly appreciated.
Bella's around here since...
Who?
Bella.
Hey, Bella, how are you?
Best wishes for you and your wife.
Thank you, Bella.
Much respect. What's the highest amount of money you spent in a club?
Oh, it had to be in the Penthouse Club, which was a strip joint. I would say one night, I think it was about 27 $27,000 or $37,000 in one night. But mind you, I went there with about 10 to 12 people. They were mostly investors and construction guys who owned companies. And so I wrote it off as a business expense. And that was for their lap dances, the champagnes, the bottles. And we had a blast. So, but I made money off of those, I'd say, entertainment nights.
We have a question from Curtis. It says, Dom, have you ever watched my favorite movie, The Bronx Tale?
Yes, I watched Bronx Tale. I love it. I think it was a great movie. Really good. Some really good scenes. Robert De Niro crushed it as always. And so did Brancato too. He played that part really well. It was a good movie. It was a good movie.
So I have Scott here asking, hey Dom, love your message. Great energy daily. Ever been to the Jersey Shore back in the day, Seaside, and what music did you like besides rap and hard rock?
Oh, back in the day, yes, we always used to go to Seaside, especially as a kid. I remember the Sicali family, my grandfather, grandmother, they would always rent the house out for, I think, a month for the summer. And I remember as a kid going to the shore. So go to Patreon, you'll see some of those photos, me as a kid on the beach. I'm pretty sure some of them are from Seaside Heights. But type of music, I liked my freestyle back then as I got older. Freestyle, definitely.
Being made, did it help getting the ladies? And if so, what's the funniest story when that happened?
Oh, okay. Here we go. I think being a street guy in general helped. From what I was told, I think there might have been an article on Vinny and myself that we were like the, I don't know, something around the mob women that, known as two good-looking guys. And so that was some type of stigma, but yeah, it does help. And one of the stories, and this is a funny one. We're in Rayo's one evening, and I'm with Vinny. It's Christmas time. No, yeah, is it Christmas? Yeah, it's around Christmas time. My daughter's about 6 months old, and I have a Mercedes 2-door. And we're in there, so he introduces me to a few ladies. One of them happens to be Renee Graziano. She's there, we're all at the bar, we're laughing, and he tells me that's the daughter of Graziano. He's away. And so we're talking, and I'm talking about my daughter, and I see, she's... I want to say being overly friendly. So I'm like, okay, I'm cool. So now I'm talking even more so about my daughter. She asked about my girl. I said, she's home. No, she asked if I was married. I said, no, it's my girlfriend. She was home. And I didn't even tell her we were separated at that time. I'm like, nah, she's home. She's taking care of the baby. She couldn't make it. I'm making up excuses. Because on my end, there was really no attraction to it. So I'm talking about my daughter. I told her I have some pictures. She says, oh, could I see the pictures of your daughter? And I had them in the car. So I said, okay. So I head outside. I said, let me go. And I was like maybe right in front of Rayo's, parked on the same side of the street. So I click the clicker of the car, I open up the passenger side door, and I lean in, and I have basically 1 foot on the curb and my knee on the passenger seat. I open up the center console, I'm looking, I find the pictures, and as I turn around and I get hit, boom, and it's Renee. She comes and tries to kiss me, and I'm like, and I push her back. Like, whoa, Renee, listen, no disrespect, but I'm loyal, I'm hitting her with that shit. I didn't want to tell her, like, she just wasn't for me. And she says, I apologize. I said, no, here's the pictures of my daughter. We're talking a little bit and we go inside. So all of a sudden, Vinny looks at me. And I'm like, he already knows by the look on my face. So comes over, Bo. He tells me, Bo, what happened? I said, she fucking attacked me. She tried to, kiss me. He said, Bo, take one for the team. I said, fuck you. You take one for the team. He started laughing. And I wouldn't be surprised, knowing Vinny, that when I went outside, he probably told her, Renee, go outside. Go ahead. Go out. Go see Dom. So knowing him, but we both got a laugh out of that. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, fuck. She tried attacking me in the car. It was just, to me, it was hilarious. But it just wasn't for me. There was, myself, there was no chemistry and no attraction on my end. And, but that was just weird situation and a funny story, but you had to be there. And then he's like, take one for the team. Fuck you, you take one for the team. And he was just busting out laughing. So, yeah, next.
So I have Mike from Corona. Says, hey, Big D. So great to hear your stories about Tony. He's one of the least talked about guys in the life. Extremely unrated to the public.
Yes, he was. Definitely. Tony was a great guy. I mean, he had a bunch of young guys around him, all respectful, nice, courteous. And you could see them, like a lot of them went to the gym. They looked like they were in shape, but very respectful and so humble Tony was. He never even wore his badge, meaning his made member, like on his chest. He was just very secure with himself from what you see in the papers, heard, well loved, well liked. I mean, great, classy act. And, may he rest in peace. And, he was secure with himself. Great guy. Never heard a bad thing about him.
Tommy Boy has, good morning, Dominic. Just checking in and saying hello. Also would like to add that it would be an honor to be part of the Sicali family, mafia family.
Yeah, okay.
You got me?
Don't worry, we got you.
I always have had the same mindset as yourself. Have a great day.
Thank you. And the Sicali family, yes, we will be accepting people into it. It's coming soon. With that, we're just getting our structure in place. But everybody's going to meet the people on the 16th who are in the life of the Sicali family. And we're going to show people how everybody's changed, how we utilize one another's resources to grow, to build each other's portfolios, our strengths. If somebody has a weakness, we could reach out and we help. So really nobody has a weakness because we work together as a unit, which makes us much stronger.
Hey, Dom, has Jeff made any inappropriate advances towards you?
Jeff? Okay. No, Jeff has not made any inappropriate advances towards me. And, just that's ridiculous. But all right. Good.
Who was the funniest and most charismatic member of the families in your social club? Also, did you ever consider modeling or acting because you are particularly charming and easy on the eyes?
Oh, thank you for that. It's greatly appreciated. No, but I'll answer the last part of your question as far as acting. No, but if you have an audition, you have a place, I would definitely be glad to go. And just to try it out. I'm not saying I'm an actor, I'm not saying I'll do well, but I don't fear anything in life, and I like to give everything a shot. So I would love the opportunity to do that. As far as who is the most charismatic, I would say Vinny by far. Who is the most hilarious? I would have to say Tony Green, just by the way he dressed, from wearing his toupee, tanned up, white teeth. Good shape, too. And he'd wear these Speedos with tank tops and walking around like, you would never think this guy, I think at the time he was in his late 60s, early 70s. you would never think he was that age. He actually dressed and act like he was in his late 20s. So that in itself was hilarious. And I loved him, you know. We would never make fun of him out there, but it was just hilarious the way he portrayed himself.
So we have a super chat from Jeremy.
Thank you, Jeremy. It's greatly appreciated.
Do you think Vinny was never equally loyal to you?
You know what? When I was around Vinny, I had blinders on, and I had a lot of people tell me this. Like, I was just, I would say, in love with the guy, where that was my brother. Whatever, I would go to hell and back for him. And I felt he would do the same for me. And he did at times. But for some reason, when we got locked up and they had us separated, I saw it was all about him and his family. And I was getting left behind. And I'm like, damn. Like, I didn't see that. But my eyes started opening up. And then when I mentioned it to some people out there, they said, Dom, we saw that. You were blinded. You weren't yourself around him. It was all about him. We saw how, you know, just every time I get ahead financially, he's over there gambling. I'm helping him out with monies here. Every business I had, I made him a partner to come on. It was just, I don't know, I guess you live and learn in life. But, you know, it's sad at the end of the day what happened. It really is.
Hi, Dom. This is another super chat from Lore.
And thank you. It's greatly appreciated.
Hi, Dom. Did you know any other Bonanno big timers like Anthony Spiro, Tommy Karate, Gene Borello, and Jimmy Calandra?
Okay, let's go with Spiro and Tommy Karate. I know of them. I never met either one of them. As far as Gene and who's the other one? Jimmy Calandra?
Yeah.
There were two associates. So no, I didn't know of them. I've heard of them now on YouTube, and I got a chance to get to know Gene while he was out there. And I love Gene's tenacity. He has, you know, he still has that thug mentality. Hopefully when he comes home, he's going to come on the show. We're in contact with each other. But he just has to do the right thing and he has to slow down. As far as legends, people in the Bonannos, Joe Messino, who else? Bruno, Anthony and Delicato. You know, Tony Green. There was a lot of powerhouses. Jerry Asaro, Louis Electric. You know, we had a lot of people in the crime family that were in their own right powerhouses.
Bella is asking, I hope this isn't too personal, and if you can't say, I understand, but where's Lee?
We have Lee running around with E.G. Vodka, setting up meetings with hotels, and where we're sponsoring all the hotel. We're doing some massive things, so Lee's really busy, so hopefully he'll be here next week. I'll make sure he's at these live events too. He's greatly missed as well.
Melissa Hernandez is asking, is it true that Michael Francisi was adopted?
From what I heard, yes. You know, we have Michael, we'll be talking about that too when he's on the show. But I think he was at a young age, and, you know, Sonny was his father, so it doesn't matter adopted or not. Look at my father, he was just, to me, a sperm donor. He was never in my life, so... and then when he came in my life, there was never really a father-son bond, so... you know, it doesn't mean just because somebody's your biological father, they're your father. And vice versa for the mothers. It's the person that raises you is your parent, basically. That's the way I feel, in my opinion. Hey! We have Maddie here. She's finally back. And I'm getting the evil eye because I've been a bad boy. So, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming. I'm getting just the head shake like, oh, bitch, you're still not out of hot water. But Oh well, it's still 56 years old. It still can't get it right, but that's okay. We try every day, so hopefully one day I'll get it right. But glad you're here. Good.
We have another super
Don't,
chat.
don't smile, Wilfredo. Wilfredo's laughing like, haha, you're in hot water. I'm not. Thank you for who's super chat.
I gotta take advantage of it.
Okay.
It's super chat from Carmen Galante.
Thank you for the super chat. It's
Dom,
crazy.
did you know about the bananas growing up, or was this new when you first started meeting people?
No, I knew about the Bonanno crime family, especially when I went to where was it first? Talladega, Alabama. Joe Messina was there. And we had a counselor. His name was Calvin Grace. You know, African American guy from down south. Loved Joe Messina. And then, of course, he took a liking to me. He was my counselor. And we had a big fight on the way pile one day. And I'll be telling that story soon. And I mean, it was unbelievable. My boy John Verone, who was going to a camp, got my back, went at it with a guy, big Jamaican guy. Came at me with a weight bar. And again, I'll go into that later on. But Calvin Grace, I told him the truth when we were locked up in Seg. I didn't give anybody up. I just says, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. Between us, there was an altercation, and because he always told me, Dom, don't lie to me. I'll get you back and I'm not going to jam you up. And you know what? The man kept his word. When we went to the DHO, which is the judge, basically, outside guy comes in. Calvin lied to him. And like, no, these guys, it was raining. They fell over the wall. And that was it. They were trying to help each other. They couldn't. And then when the cops came, they thought it was a fight, and it wasn't a fight. So he stuck up for us, gave me his word. So, I got to give him props with that. So, but that's when I first heard with the Bonanos and Joe Messino and all that. Maddie, you want to go?
Jeremy H., thanks for your contribution.
Thank you, Jeremy.
With everybody chasing the same nickel and guys becoming more greedy, do you think war chests still exist? I feel like those with access will take it.
Yes, I've heard. Actually, Joe Messino had a war chest of $100 a month, and that was supposed to help guys in jail when guys came home. Whoever needed money, it was there for the family. And Vinny also, when Vinny had taken over, Vinny said, all the shooters, the guys who are going to do work, I'm not collecting war chest money from them because they're putting their lives on the line. All the other guys will pay the war chest money. I heard Michael knows upped it to $300 a month, but that's probably because he had to pay for his new white teeth. His new chiclets. You see him smiling like they're white, like the Dentine dog. That's what he looks like. And also, I'm not going to go into it, so I really don't like him. But go ahead. Next.
Fin Freak is asking, do the Gaudis still have any pull? Angel Gotti seems to think so.
Listen, I'm sure they do. Well, I don't think they have any pull, but of course they have the name. They're going to puff their chest out, and and that's it. But I think they lost a lot of credibility when it came out with John Jr. and his 302s. Right there's all the respect they lost. I heard because of Gene that they got a pass. I just think everybody got soft nowadays and just let it go. But John Jr. crippled that name, crippled the father's legacy, and it is what it is. But, and I hope he just stays away from the life and, stay on the clean and narrow. He deserves it for his kids' sake.
So you have a John from Howard Beach in the house. Ronnie One Arm Trucchio, did you and Vinny ever have any positive talks about him?
With Ronnie One Arm, no, but there was a feast one time that came into our neighborhood, and they had some type of gimmick, money gimmick. And long and short of it all, we had dropped maybe about $3,400 in this gimmick, and you were able as you lost, you could always double. You could always put your money, more money, more money, more money to try to win. And it was a game. Eventually, we would have hit it because there was no way to lose. There was a lot of ways to lose if you ran out of money. But it got to the point where the guys are like, no, 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 you can't play no more. No, 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 those aren't the rules. So I think it was around Skinny Dom and Ronnie One Arm, and lo and behold, we had a big brawl at the feast. I mean, all out melee. And then Vinny sent word to them, you better get us our money back. And they did, because you're not going to come into our neighborhood and take advantage of people from our neighborhood. So we got our money back, and that was the only altercation, but they gave it back right away.
So Melissa is asking, how did you and your wife meet, and when did you know she was the one?
Oh, how did we meet? She's shaking her head, smirking. Well, when I came home, I was going to acquire an insurance company. So while I was in the halfway house, I was in this insurance company for about 3 months. And I asked the gentleman, I said, how could we enhance his business? So he said, you know what? I know this woman who works for Telemundo. She used to do I used to do advertising with her, and we could bring on more clientele. He set up a meeting with her and I, and then I had her number. So we were supposed to meet at a location. So I had text her, and I says, hey, just so you know, I'll be wearing a pink shirt. So I had a dress shirt on, and I said I'm about 4'6", 4'7", about 350 pounds. So she says, oh, okay, and I look like this, okay. And then that's when we met. We spoke about 10 minutes business, and the other hour and a half, it was just personal, going back and forth. And then when we left, I walked her to her car, gave her a kiss on the cheek, then that was it. And then the funny part is, she didn't know at that time. So every time we were supposed to get together, I would ask her, so I had a curfew, I had to be home by 8:30. So I would say, hey, you want to meet about 5:30, 6 o'clock? And she'd tell me, well, I got dog training to do. I'm like, dog training? And lo and behold, she's, oh, could we meet 7, 8? No, I can't. So she thought I had a wife at home. She said, oh, this guy's a fucking player. And then when we did meet up, and I told her about my past, so she put 2 and 2 together, like there wasn't no other woman there, and then we just hit it off. And she hooked me, hook, line, and sinker. She's shaking her head, yeah. Go ahead.
Depends who you ask.
That's right, see?
I guess it's the same Melissa or another one, Hernandez. Besides physical persuasion, what were some of the most creative problem-solving methods implemented to get compliance from deadbeats and losers?
I think basically just speaking with people and letting them know. I wasn't the typical, listen, even though I was known for a lot of violence, I always gave, like I said, that's why I never loan sharked. I would give money. And I would always go in with the pretenses I'm not getting paid. So I wasn't disappointed. But I would always try, even with other people, to negotiate. Listen, why does this have to get ugly? Just give us something every week. Okay, I know you're jammed up. I know you may have a problem. And we go back and forth. And they would appreciate it. Because I looked at it, why am I going to hurt somebody? A few times I had to. Just to make a point with other people. But, most of the times I would try to negotiate. There's times I even came out of my pocket just to satisfy other people, not to see somebody get hurt. So to me, it wasn't about the money. Sometimes it's about the person. And I understand people get jammed up in life, and it happens, where they get in over their heads. But it happens. I just felt it's a better resolution just trying to work something out.
Big G84 is asking, hey Dom, do you know if you have any connections for properties looking to start a company like Airbnb?
Yeah, we have a lot of connections. Actually, I'm getting ready to develop 9 homes in the Orlando area. We have another 2 homes we'll be putting up. Those will be luxury homes on a massive lake. in the Winter Park area of Orlando, which is by Rollins, not far from Rollins College. So, if people looking for an opportunity to invest, come on board. These are massive projects. So, we could work things out. Everything goes through attorneys. We cross our T's, dot our I's. So everybody feels comfortable at the end of the day. And there's a lot of money to be made. Just reach out to me on
media@mafiaroundtable.com.
Thank you. That's it, Wilfredo. Taking over Lee's spot. Joseph, wake up. There you go. Look, yeah. Mate.
So Cody James, and don't answer because they answer below. Everyone calls everyone Bo in the Bronx. Actually, Rock Ghazi said, "Why does Vinny B call you Bo?" And then Cody James says, "Everyone calls everyone Bo in the Bronx." And then Cody James said, "Bo in the Bronx, Bull in Philly, folks in Chicago," and it goes on and on.
Yeah, Bo is just a friend. It's like, hey, brother, that's Bo. Or cousine, that means pal. A lot of people from Brooklyn will say cousine. Also, kumpi, like, Big Ernie used to say kumpi. It means pal, brother, friend. It's just a sign of respect and it's slang.
Yeah.
Mafia
like a
slang.
shorter version of compadre.
Correct. Perfect.
So I have here, hey Dom, what catering halls did you guys have a piece of?
We had no piece. I didn't have any piece of any catering hall, neither did Vinny. But we had the Villa Barone. Was it the Villa Barone? The Marina Del Rey. Where any engagement we had, if they're charging, say, $50 a plate was, say, their average cost. And don't hold me to the numbers, I'm just making them up right now. If it was $50 a plate, they would give us their cost of maybe, if we had an event to do, $18 a plate. So they basically give it to us at cost because we were from the neighborhood and they knew who we were. So that's the things we get. Villa Barone, too, was another one. So Spados, they would take care of us at any time we had big engagements.
Kian said, "Hey Dom, hope you and the team are good. Do you have a most memorable fight or time you got punched in the face?"
Yes, I would have to say when Stephen DeLuca put a gun to my head, took me to the cemetery, and that was the most memorable, where, I thought I was going to get killed, beat the shit out of me, got beat down with everything that was around the area, muffler that was laying there, piece of a muffler, just constantly getting cracked. I was bad. He beat me up really bad. So
I have a question from Bubby Hummer. Growing up in the 80s, ever come across or hear of the Westies when you were on the street younger?
No, I didn't. Basically, my stomping grounds weren't downtown. They were in the Bronx, Hunts Point area, and Harlem. So, no, I didn't.
Bella asked, "I hope this isn't too personal, and if you can say,
She
if you
did
can't."
that already.
Oh, okay. What was the answer? You have him working like a dog?
See? Yes, it was. I said we have him working with EG,
Yeah.
setting up events and everything,
Okay.
running around crazy.
So Debbie McGriffin, taking advantage, just said EG vodka, says, it's off the subject, but I love the EG vodka. So
Oh, I
tried
told you, it's excellent. Thank you.
Which flavor?
Which flavor? Please let us know. But I'm glad you like it. And they're all really good and unbelievable. I mean, I'm at bars, and the bartender actually gave one couple the EG. They tried it, and they're like, "Oh my God, where do I get a bottle?" So, I mean, it's that good. So, it's like the taste is so smooth. You don't believe it's 80 proof. That's how good it is.
You get different tastes once you're drinking it, or
Correct.
even after you drink it. So
Yes, with the flavors, like say with the rosemary lavender, if you try it warm, you might taste more of the rosemary. As far as when it gets chilled, you'll taste more of the lavender. It's really amazing. You have to try it.
So Roy Monson, Dom, were you guys weary of the Zips in your family? I heard they were ruthless and very tight with each other.
I wouldn't know of that. As far as ruthless, Vinny was very close with George from Canada, George Sasha. Loved him, trusted him 1,000%. And Vinny, like he told me, he was on the fence about the hit, that he was going to tip George off at one point. And Vinny just distanced himself from that altogether. But Vinny was very, very close with George, and he was really upset with it. And I'm surprised Vinny didn't tip him off. But that would have led out to a bloodshed in the crime family. So, next.
So I have a comment here. It says, I remember Top Tony back in the day used to buy fireworks update in Spaghetti Park. Being that I am from Electric City, I was also locked up in the Queen's house from 1990 with John Panisi from the Lucchese's.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing. And yes, if I'm correct, Spaghetti Park was Tony's park. He actually told me he cleaned up that park. There was it was right across the street from his restaurant, if I'm not mistaken. And he cleaned up that park. There was a lot of heroin addicts there, a lot of people doing crack, and he actually kicked them all out of the park and cleaned it up. Put plants in there, trees, bocce ball court, cleaned up the graffiti and everything, made it really a nice park. That's if I'm not mistaken. If I have it right, please somebody let me know. Maddie?
Carmine Galante, I have been watching your content from Scotland, and I think it's unique and firsthand. Bananos were always my favorite in mob history.
Thank you, Carmine. I appreciate it. Yeah, Bananos had history with everything. So we have a lot more stuff coming out too, even with Joe Barone, who was actually around me and was working with the feds for 20 years or 21 years as an informant, and I never knew. And Joe could have gave me up on certain things that we did, and he never did. But he was implicated himself in on these things. But stay tuned. We have a lot of good content coming out. And we're going back and forth talking about maybe putting a pilot together for a movie. So between his stuff, my stuff, everything we have out there. So it could be interesting.
Corey's asking, in your day, what was the best restaurant in the Bronx?
In my day, I would say Spado's, which was on East Tremont, El Bisqueto's, which was on Gun Hill Road. And it was funny, one night in El Bisqueto's, Burt Young is there, drinking up a storm. Jerry Fiorino, who was Barney's brother-in-law, he's there. There's a few other people there. I'm there with my daughter's mother and my daughter, who was, I think, one and a half years old. And she's waddling, walking. So right away, Burt Young grabs her. He's drunk, and he's lifting and playing with her. And she's like, oh, my God, he's going to drop her. He's going to drop her. And I was joking. He drops her. Don't worry, I'll chop his hands off. Like, that's my baby. But great place, El Bisqueto's at that time. Always really good. Always loved the food.
I know I'm going to butcher this one.
Okay.
But AAA is asking, did you know John Screamemano, the capo involved in the wake brawl, sorry. Did you know him in the streets?
I have no idea who you're talking about. Maddie, if you want to help him. What's up?
John
Which one are you?
Scream...
Maddie.
Who are you?
This one right here. Screamemano.
Yeah. Skiro Mamano.
I have no idea.
Skiro Mamano, Capo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know. Sorry they butchered it up, but everybody tries their best.
So Nico Fellini asks, were you friends with the Shark?
The Shark, yes. He was actually wound up around me. The father was around Vinny after he got killed. Vinny put the son with me. And that's Michael Panini if I'm correct. With the name, I think Tommy Panini was the father. So, yes, I did know him.
Eternal One, do you have any thoughts about Lenny DiMaria?
No, I have no thoughts about him off the top of my head. I don't think I've ever met Lenny. I heard a lot about him, but off the top of my head, I really don't recall.
Did you ever make anyone?
Yes, we were there for induction ceremony with Anthony Aiello. I think, who else was there? There was about 4 other people that were there. It was at that induction ceremony. I think there was 2 induction ceremonies that I was at both of them. I was present, and we straightened them out. But one of them I sponsored Anthony Aiello. I think Anthony Pepitone was in one of them as well. There was a few more people, and then another one after that. I didn't sponsor anybody, but I was there because Vinny had me a part of the administration. So,
Cody says whenever Dom talks about vodka, he gets hype and his Bronx accent gets way more pronounced. He's laughing.
yes. You know what? It's funny. Somebody hit me up in one of the comments. Dom, I like when you drink, and I see the way when it starts hitting you, you get more and more animated. So my wife says I was slurring, but it's just having a good time and making light of things. Because like I tell everybody in my posts and everything, just listen, there's a lot of things that go on in everybody's life. You just have to try to get through it and move on. A lot of setbacks, even in my life. And, you just try. It's hard at times. You feel depressed, but put some music on you like, where you listen to good music. Sometimes it snaps you out of it, gets you in a better train of thought and feelings where, okay, you put that aside and try to work to resolve it. So nothing in life is, you can't overcome. That's for sure.
Did the Mafia ever fix any NFL games?
I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure. And at one time, of course, listen, I could tell you stories, and we will tell it on Mafia Roundtable. I have the people here where they were out with baseball players. Baseball team, I'm not going to mention what team, I'm not going to give it up just yet. But they had the majority of the team there, and he got them smashed drunk. I mean, really drunk. They were out to about 4 or 5 in the morning drinking. And he's like, right away after the game, after the drinking, he's like, right away calling every bookie betting against that team, knowing it's going to be a hot day and they're going to be fucked up, all hungover. So that was a smart move. So you'll hear that story later on.
Joe Hernandez says Joseph Bonanno was the original godfather that started the mob with Lucky Luciano.
I don't know about that, but I'll tell you one thing. Joe Bonanno was a top guy, but after he left, went to Arizona, what disappointed I am is they should have killed him when he came out with a book. Like, really? What a fucking disgrace. I would have sent the hit team out there and taken him out. To me, that's a no-no, especially back then when the Mafia was really tight. This was before everybody and their mother were turned to rat, myself included. But I would have definitely looked to take him out. I would have made a statement with him.
I have a super chat from Jeremy H.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Can I apply to develop with you? I'm an estimator.
Yes.
PM.
What type of estimates you do? Just going vertical, underground. So we could talk. Just hit me up offline, and I could send you over the property, and we could talk from there. If you want to invest too, we could set something up.
Tony Handsome, what gambling spots did you guys take over from the Spanish gangsters in the Bronx?
I didn't have gambling spots. Vinny had them all. So he was all over the Bronx. I mean, he had really a strong base for number locations. He had the Joker poker machines. He made a killing, Vinny. He had a lot of locations. He was powerful with that.
I have Another super chat from Alexander Wilson.
Thank you, Alexander. It's
Says-
greatly appreciated.
Frank Lino passed away this week. Did you have any interactions with him?
No, I had no interactions with Frank Lino. Yes, I read that too. He passed away. My condolences to his family. So I don't know anything about him other than he was one of the first ones that cooperated. If the Frank Lino with the Bananos. So it is what it is. So I never had the opportunity to meet him. Maddie, why are you laughing?
Because Roy Munson said, Jesus, did the person have dyslexia when writing Skiro Mamano in Ellis Island? Crazy name. Yeah, that's a hard one.
That
to
happens.
So Brooke Nelius, howdy Dom in Houston. Glad I was able to catch live.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the support. People, please hit subscribe. Thank you. We're closing in. We actually passed 16,500 subscribers. Thank you so much. But if you like the content, please hit subscribe. It costs you nothing. And it just shows that people are interested into your show. So it's nice to see that.
So I have a question, statement/question from Brian Carranza.
Okay.
I was with Vinny in 09 in Brooklyn. Then I was with Anthony in Minnesota 4 years. Don't know your business between you and Vinny. Don't care. But will you ever apologize to Anthony?
Anthony Donato or Anthony Donato? That's Lil Anthony, or Anthony and Delicato, which is Bruno. So please respond to that, and then I could give you an answer.
Okay, Richie Rich, how did you personally kick money up to Joe Messino?
Personally, we would go see Louis Restivo at the restaurant, or I think one time sent money right to his house, to his wife, put it in a champagne box, and that was it.
What gambling spots did you guys take over from Spanish gangsters?
Yeah,
in
we
the
said
police?
we heard that.
Oh,
Right?
that one.
That's right,
Yeah.
right. Let me go back to the Anthony. Would I apologize? Since there's only two Anthonys, I just want to get that in.
Donato.
Oh, he said Donato? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. I would love to speak with him face to face. And it broke my heart with Anthony Donato. I loved him. Great guy. Dangerous. Very dangerous. And you would never think it, but very calm. And Vinny would always say, if it was up to Anthony, nobody would ever get killed. But anytime that Anthony was required to do something, Anthony was always there. On the occasion we needed him, he was there 1,000%. Great guy, and yes, it broke my heart with him. As far as Anthony and Delicato, no, there's no apology, because he has a big fucking mouth too. He's in the cell with Nicholas Piscotti, and he's telling Nicholas about us killing Frank Santoro, and then Piscotti wound up ratting. So shame on him. And I have a lot of respect for Bruno, but he receives no apologies.
So Joe Hernandez said, I subscribed, and also I'm a mod on 15 channels, so I share.
Oh, thank you. Greatly appreciated for your support.
And Nikki Newark said, hello, Dom. Did you ever hear of Tino from Jersey? Any stories about him?
Tico?
He wrote Tino here.
If you're talking about Tico, who's around the Genovese crime family, absolutely. I would break his balls. And I met him in MDC, Brooklyn. And he was Quiet Dom's co-defendant. And he was looking at 3 years max. And he would come and tell me, Dom, oh my God, they're going to give me 3 years. And complaining about it. But my lawyer said I should only get 9 months. What do you think? I said, Chico, they're going to give you 3 years. They might even enhance you that you're getting 5 years. And I would leave, and I'm breaking his balls, but I'd be serious. A few days later, they would have a co-defendant meeting. Dom would come to me, shaking his head. What? And I'd smirk, knowing Dom, please, what did you tell Tico? I says, Dom, I'm looking at a death penalty case, and he's crying over 3 fucking years, and he would burst out laughing. Of course, I'm going to break his balls. He said, oh my God, I had to hear it in the co-defendant meeting. Not saying, it was just an old, he didn't want to die in jail, but it was hilarious. So if that's the guy you mean, Tico, I met him when we were incarcerated.
So Tony said, what's up? I'm sorry. Tony said, what's up, Dom? Glad you continue to make content. I enjoy your stories, and I think you shed light on the Bonanno family that really hasn't been spoken about that much.
Thank you. We have a lot more comments. A lot of people post. I say, stay tuned, coming soon. That's because I'm going to tell the story my way. I can't tell everything in one day, and I'm not going to do it. Otherwise, then we won't have a channel. So it's just, when I say coming soon, it's coming eventually. So, we put out a lot of content in a short period of time. I think we have over 70 videos out there. So that's a lot within, 5 months, not even 5 months yet. So we put out content, and we're just trying to build a base. And I don't think I spoke about any of the homicides yet. So those are coming soon. And I know I say coming soon. Soon might be 6 months, a year from now, but it's soon.
So we have another super chat from Alexander Wilson.
Thank you, Alexander. Greatly appreciated.
What actually happened between Di Filippo and Anthony Donato about the uvas?
Yeah, we really don't know what made Patty tell Joe Messino that Anthony Donato did it. Why he threw him under the bus. It was just till this day, and ever since then, Vinny wanted his head. Vinny was going to get Patty DiFilippo's head. And, Vinny was adamant to Patty when they went to that sit-down. Patty, anything happens to Anthony, you're going. You're going to get killed one way or the other. And Vinny told him straight out. I don't know. And Anthony didn't deserve that. So
there's a second part
yes.
to that. Did Patty want him dead and then change his mind?
No, I don't think Patty wanted him dead. I think Patty felt, I don't know. There's no telling with Patty. He was just, to me, just a miserable old man, always with a puss on his face, never smiling. Just very disrespectful in a lot of ways.
So Al said, I live down the block from where things took place and across from Geronimo's, next to Brady's. Why don't you have more of a Bronx accent?
Down the block from what took place, and more of a Bronx accent. Okay, I don't know what you mean by that. I think I do have a strong accent, but okay.
So we have another super chat from FL2396.
Thank you, FL. It's greatly appreciated.
So hey, Dominic, a Colombo capo was recently quoted stating Mancuso runs the Bronx. What do you think of this statement?
That Colombo capo, Anthony, I think it was Anthony Uvino, Michael Uvino. I didn't listen, he was a nice guy. I didn't care for him. There's an incident where before he was straightened out, he got smacked. He didn't do anything with a place in the Bronx. And he's just, to each his own. I think he's a jerk off, in my own opinion. As far as Michael running the Bronx, the Genovese have their foothold in the Bronx as well. So Michael's a pimple on a bull's ass in the Bronx.
So AAA said Johnny Mulberry Grimaldi funeral is the guy I was asking.
Okay. What was he asking with the funeral?
I don't know.
I'll get into that.
All right, we'll find out. We'll be here another 2 seconds, and then we're cutting off. Nah, just joking.
I have a question. While you answer that, I'll find the other one. Joy Farasi asked, what are your thoughts on Gravano murdering an innocent 16-year-old boy?
My thoughts, I don't know the particulars of it, so I can't comment. I don't want to know the particulars, so I don't have to comment. Things happen if it was a necessity, something that needed to be done because somebody could have got identified, then, it happens. It's a sad day that an innocent kid has to lose their life. But I don't know the particulars, so I really can't answer that. And again, he has to live with it, not me.
So he was basically referring to the brawl of when we mentioned that John escribir a mano.
Oh, okay. You're talking the brawl in the funeral home?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I think that was a disgrace. I think Michael knows is just a buffoon, moron, jerk off to have that done. Michael really, I don't like him. I don't like his ways. I don't like his demeanor, his smirks. To me, he's a punk, washwoman, just a dirty, no good motherfucker. That's 1,000%. He has no respect from a lot of people. Don't like him. Zero respect. The only people that respect him are the flunkies out there around him, his nephew and everybody else who think who the hell he is. And knowing Johnny Joe deep down, Johnny Joe doesn't even respect him. He tolerates him because he has to. You don't have to respect the man, but you're going to respect the title. So, but he's just a moron, a buffoon.
Drush Marush says, if I have a master's degree from an Ivy League school, is there a way to get into a mafia fast-track training program where I can make it into a capo on a rapid success timeline?
This is not about, remember, this is not the illegal mafia we create. It's a legitimate organization where we help each other out with our connections. So if you have something where, and it's not about rank, it's about putting the right people in the right place at the right time. And what's up, Joe? Come on in. Yeah, sit down. What's up, brother? So we're doing a live right now. So it's about putting the right person in the right place at the right time and growing, and just everybody utilizes the resources and helps one another to facilitate and expand. And that's what it's about. So yes, if you have the capabilities, if you have the right group around you, you can elevate. We'll elevate you to a captain, and where you control a certain amount of guys in your field. And it's just about resources.
So I have a question from Mr. Alaska. When is the video on the three capos coming out? I can answer that one. It's coming soon.
It's coming. Stay tuned. Coming soon. Now we're just trying to get everything together. I know the three capos will be what I'm trying to put together if it works out. Michael Franchise, Mikey Scars, and myself. So right now I spoke about it, reached out to both of them. We're just waiting for Michael Franchise. When he's available, that he's in Florida, then Mikey Scars and myself will definitely go down. We'll sit down, the three of us, and I'm sure we'll come up with something, some type of concept. And we're also going to generate to help kids, sexual harassment, talk about positive things. And stay tuned, because we have a lot of similarities but different views. So I think that'll definitely help us to grow.
They're slowing down, so I think we're
okay. Take one more.
One more. Basically, hey Dom, I finally caught alive. I just finished reading Deal with the Devils about Greg Scarpa.
Okay.
Did you have any interactions with him? Was it on the streets he was informing? Much love and respect.
No, I had no interactions with Greg Scarpa. I was around people who were around him in jail. But that's about it. Everybody, I want to thank everybody for the love and support. Thank you for all the super chats, the contributions today. It's greatly appreciated. Please hit that subscribe button again. And remember, if you want to drink, go to egvodka.com. Order your vodka. You'll love it. Great flavors. Smooth tasting vodka. And want to thank everybody for the love and support. And also, everybody have a great weekend. Enjoy. And we'll see you again next Friday live. Actually, we'll see you on Thursday. We're going to go Thursday live with the health segment with the doctors. So stay tuned for that. And the next Friday live. And then we'll have our usual Tuesday posting with something. So everybody, thank you again. Wish everybody the best. Have a good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Peace out.